Now, what happened was Ginger actually puts Elvin Jones down as one of his influences, but Elvin Jones is actually quite famous saying he's nothing and all that. So there's a little bit of the old professional antagonism about it, and they ended up having a big drum battle, okay, in around about 1971. And I haven't been able to find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But what it was, by all accounts, Elvin Jones just came out of the blocks going whooshka, but the old Ginge was there going and sort of did the slow steamroll, I suppose, with Elvin doing over-the-top business and stuff. And it's of folklore, that little thing. And I've got that down for you, Spike and Ian, in the sense that he did his Toad drum solo, but Elvin Jones coming over the top trying to monster him. It's of folklore sort of thing. So do the old fact-checking and stuff like that. But I've got the story in my Eric, Jack and Ginger Cream Complete book. It's the guitar book I bought when I started playing guitar in 1974. So, yeah, there's my Eric, Jack and Ginger Cream Complete guitar book, and the story's in there somewhere, kind of thing. Anyway, there you go. Now, because Ginger Baker loved his African rhythms, what he actually did when, the big bands folded, Cream finished and Blind Faith didn't last very long. That was supposed to be the second super group, but that didn't quite take. And then he did Ginger Baker's Air Force. And I've actually got to say that album that I listened to, I really think that's some of his best playing, that kind of thing. Because he seemed to lock in. He finally found the people that could mesh his love of African rhythms and stuff with what they were doing. And he wasn't big on guitar. Like, I think the keyboard player doubled on guitar for the track, but it certainly wasn't any kind of Eric Clapton kind of figure going, bang, let's go. By that stage, I think he was burned out. No guitarist in this band. He had a beautiful horn section. They did this wonderful version of Sunshine of Your Love. It was like, bam, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. And that's where he had the tambourine plastered on the hi-hat, all sorts of things like that. And what happens with that is that when he was doing that business there, he ended up going into Africa. Apparently he drove through the Sahara Desert to meet one of his heroes, I think, is Fela Kuti. And Stephen Tocci, you asked me about Fela Kuti just a few weeks ago. So with that, you've got the two-feel that I mentioned before. Turn it backwards. So you've got the hi-hat first and the bass drum second. So with Fela Kuti's drummer Tony Allen, kind of thing. And the album where they do the drum duet for them was a lot more friendly, I would think, than the Elvin Jones duet. And what it was the old Ginge did his normal thing, right? He did the... But you heard a lot of other stuff over the top from Tony Allen and things like that. So there's that. Now, because I've now taken Ginger into Africa, when you're actually dealing with the lick of the century and the two bass drums, take away the ride cymbal, go back to toms. Now, that's very much the drummers of Burundi. Okay, so I think they used to come out for Womadelaide and all that. I've got their CD, Peter Gabriel production, Real World Records and all that from Peter Gabriel. And what it is you've got these troop of strong men with big drums going. just going wow, 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 wow. And the big central drum is an inkiranya, is what that is. And what goes on with that is you've got your central drummer there, and then you've got your troop of drummers just going at it. Just think Japanese taiko, like that, only African version. And what happens with that is that then you start to get into what the Ginge loved so much about African rhythms. Now, one of the funny things is how many of you out there remember the Total Theatre in the city, the rock and roll cinema through the 70s? Not many people were coming out on tour like they do now, so, you know, when we wanted to go and see Hendrix at Woodstock, off to the Total Theatre we go. It was situated same place as Billboard, and whatever the name of that club is now. But where Billboard used to be, all that sort of stuff. And I used to hang out there. You know, I used to go there all the time and all that sort of stuff. And there was Cream, the Royal Albert Hall concert. And then they did the interview with all the different, with Eric, Jack and Ginger. It's like those bits have actually been on Rage and all that. But there was one bit where he was there with his dog and going, God, it's bloody early to bloody play drums, isn't it? Couldn't you come back later? And the guy asked him, what do you practice? How do you warm up? I said, the rudiments. I do the rudiments. You got to watch it. What, you want me to play them? I was yeah. All right. Oh, I like flam triplets. You got to go watch it. It's on YouTube. You want me to play them? I'll have half. I'll just ring up my mate Phil. Hey, put me through to Phil Seaman. I'll have half. Hey, Phil. So what you've got is you've got your rudiments, right? Now what happens is that when you're dealing with African rhythms, you're dealing with 2-layered, 3-layered rhythms, right? Usually played on djembes of many sizes. And you know what? For a hard-earned thirst, you need a big cold beer. And that beer is ginger beer. Okay, I'm off. I'm out. I'm off to have a beer myself. And I hope you've enjoyed the Ginger Baker special. God bless him. I hope he's up there having a biff with Jack Bruce as we speak. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next week.